Welcome, everyone, once again. It's Friday, and it's the Manufacturing E-commerce Success Series. I'm one of your co-hosts, Damon Pistolka. And I tell you what, the backstage conversation this morning is incredible. If it is anything like the rest of the show, you are going to be in for a real treat. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Kurt Anderson. Take it away, Kurt.
Dude, I'm too starstruck. I don't think I can go.
I know.
We can't go through with the show. Like, I'm too nervous right now. So, Damon, we have Kayleen McCabe on the show today. So let me just tell you a little intro here.
Yeah.
General contractor. She's a woodworking guru expert. She is a workforce extravaganza. She's a TV show host on the Do It Yourself Network's Rescue Renovation. She's been on Machines That Built America, one of our favorite programs on the History Channel. Kayleen, happy Friday. How are you, my friend?
I am awesome, Kurt Damon. Thank you so much for hanging out this afternoon. This is awesome.
Gosh, all right, guys. I have so drop a note in the chat box. We've got
us know where you're listening from.
Margot is here. We got Vale dropping.
Gail. Gail just saw Gail in Seattle a couple weeks ago.
We've got Whitney, our beloved dear Gail.
Valerie.
So, guys, you have to connect with Kayleen McCabe. This is just an extravagant. This is Kayleen. I don't know if you realize like how big this is for us. So, anyway, I have a quote for Damon. You know, I love my quotes, right?
Yes.
I have a quote for you. Ready for this one? Are you guys sitting down? You ready? I have a quote. I have a need to introduce the next generation to the skilled trades and will tackle whatever it takes to do so. Kayleen, who dropped that? Where's that quote from? Do you know who dropped that quote?
I think it might be somebody I'm familiar with.
Man, is she on the stage right now?
Awesome.
Yes, it's true. I'm so passionate about this because I love what I get to do. I get to work in the world of construction, woodworking, and furniture building is kind of my hobby passion as well. And we need everyone to know about this awesome career path because it's not just about this. There's a lot of other things that go into it. But yeah, I like that quote. I'm going to put that in my Palm Pilot.
Hey, do that. So I've got it right here. I'm going to throw it on my wall. So, Damon, you'll see it here next week. So,
all right,
Kayleen, let's dig in. My first question for you today. Now, I did a little cyber stalking in the friendliest kind of way, if you will. And I found this little video of you, and you're talking about when you were a little girl. So let's go back in time. When you were a little girl, and you were out in the garage, maybe at dad's or grandpa's, what were you doing? Were you changing oil? Were you like changing oil in the car?
Yeah, well, actually, my first memory of working with tools, I was 4, maybe 5. My grandfather taught me how to use a bandsaw, and I made little hearts for my parents. Got on my fingers still. Thanks, Grandpa. Like, you can't be safe. Yeah, okay. 10 out of 10. So I started with that, but my grandfather was super handy. He made a pipe organ out of a vacuum cleaner, a clock all out of wood. But then that really translated into the house because we put it on an addition. And to make money for the addition, my dad rebuilt Studebakers. And so I was probably around the same age, maybe 4, 5, 6. And I remember being on a creeper of my own. And I mean, he was teaching me lessons that we use all the time now. Like you see with your fingers. You know, I was frustrated I couldn't see you do a bolt. There's something about how you see with your fingers. I don't think he understood how big of a lesson that was, or it wasn't intentional, but for him, it was just like, I'm teaching my daughter how to do stuff. So it's awesome because now I have toys that I take care of most of the time. I break them a lot more than I fix them sometimes.
That's perfect. So nice. that segues right in. So the question that I always love to open up with, and maybe you just answered it, as a little girl growing up, who was the hero in your life? So maybe you just answered it, but who's the hero in your life growing up as a little girl that brought you into this world of being a brand ambassador and everything that you have going on?
Well, my parents, for sure, they were huge, but also Inspector Gadget and Optimus Prime. And so I think those two, I just wanted Gadget to be able to travel and do stuff. And I always aspired to tinker. I was always working with my hands and noodling around with stuff. And so I think now how I built a lot of my custom pieces is very much inspired by Transformers because there's a lot of compartments and hinges and things that do things. And So yeah, I was gonna marry Optimus Prime at Putt Putt Golf, but that's real. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but who knows? You know, it might.
You never know.
It might still happen, right? So, all
Yeah.
right, let's step forward. You're picking a career path, and boy, you are so passionate. So, anybody that, again, you guys, you have to connect with Kayleen here on LinkedIn. Follow all the amazing work that she's doing. What led you to your passion of following, like being this trades advocate? Like, how did we get there?
All right. So real quick, I was a 911 dispatcher for a long time, actually.
Oh, were you really?
And I was dispatched a lot of stuff. People don't call 911 to say, hi, it's nice outside. And so I'm grateful that I had that experience. It really gave me perspective on the larger portion of the world. You know, sometimes it's not always sunshine. Sometimes it's terrible. I loved it. I loved it. On my days off, I would actually watch the early episodes of Trading Spaces. And I remember remodeling my kitchen one time. And then I realized I needed a break. And my cousin was a producer on Trading Spaces. And she's like, take your vacation days, come and be a production assistant. And I remember my first day really working there. And I was like, I was leaving a 6-figure job, great money, to like $100 a day. And I thought I was just going to get coffee for people. Like, all right, fine. I mean, it sounded really nice having such heavy responsibilities to then like, do you want cream or sugar? Maybe a sandwich? I don't know. Yeah. Instead, I ended up working with the master craftsman, Frank Bill Castro, on the show. And he gave me this safe space to fail, but taught me so much. And that's where I fell in love. I was like, why didn't I choose this as my career path to start off with? I love it so much. It was hard work. It was long days. It was really physical. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I call it my reverse French manicure, where like there's more dirt underneath. And then on top, I'm like, oh, I earned that. I loved it. And that's when I was like, whoa, I finally found my passion. This is it. This makes, like, it still gives me goosebumps to think about like the projects I've done. Like, I built this, you know? Right. And that's when it's like, I have to tell other people. Other people need to know about this career path, because I could have gone to college. I didn't. For the longest time, I actually had, that is like the thing I was most embarrassed about. I didn't want people to know that I didn't go to college. But instead now I'm just embarrassed. I don't speak another language, which that's pretty embarrassing besides math. But
I'm with you there.
Well, that's really where it started, was just, I found this genuine love and passion for doing something and realized I could make great money. I was working with amazing people. And then there's this huge shortage. And so for me, it was like, why am I not telling all my friends? Like, are you breathing? Come join me. It's fun.
Oh, that is awesome. So did that lead you to your show, to the being on the rescue renovation show?
No. So rescue renovation actually came about because, so I did television behind the scenes for a long time, but TV's also hard. You're a freelance artist. And so, you know, you're looking for a new job every few months, and it was in the same industry, but I kept getting promoted. And then I started working in an office, and I was like, oh, office, I don't function well in an office. Right. So I came back to Colorado. I still had friends in the industry, and they were like, you've got to apply for this competition show called Stud Finder. And I'm like, if it's a dating show, I'm good.
Wait, I thought Damon was on that show.
Like,
not even.
So they actually kind of helped with the application process, and I won Stud Finder. And with that came, for me, the big deal was a $2,500 gift certificate to Home Depot. Like, yes.
Boom.
Right? Exactly.
Holy heck.
That's it. I got a tile saw. I was so excited. That was really what I was like, oh, goodness. But the other part of the prize was 5 episodes of something. And so it was with the network. We kind of went back and forth and talked about it. But, you know, I had worked on the formative shows of the industry. I mean, I worked on Trading Spaces. That's what started it all. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted a show where we could talk about the reality. I didn't want to be like, hi, we're going to install cabinets, and then have a close-up of like man hands. And I'd be like, no, I'm really going to install the cabinets. Like, I'm actually going to do the work, because I want people to see like, oh, she can do it, I can do it. But then also look at like all the other people. Like, it's not just, you know, me. But here's the thing. I love it. It's great. I don't have control over the edit though.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you can shoot your heart out. You can be there every day and do the best, but they can really choose the story that they want to tell. And 5 episodes turned into 100, which was great. And it was crazy. And it was so much fun. And oh my God, if y'all got time for stories, boy, do I have them. Oh, I've seen some crazy things. But the part of the story that they were telling in the episodes that I had no control over was the alteration of the timeline, the quality and education of people doing the work, and then also the budget. And those 3 things are so critically important to be successful. And the fact that TV shows weren't showing permits being pulled or inspections ever happening or an actual price tag or like the whole crew it takes to make it happen. They never showed the days where it's like July, we're in a house with no AC. It's a bunch of people sweaty with tool bags on. It's like, ugh, smell-o-vision. They don't show that. They want like all the like, Kayleen's being quirky, you know, which is fine. And, you know, it's been off the air for a while, but so that's where it's like, I want to get out there and really share the passion for this industry, just how wonderful it is. And some of it's cool, some of it's hard, but you could be in an office all day with recycled air. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry to office people. I'm sorry. It's just not my jam.
No, it's just, it's the truth. So I've had one question that 100 episodes. You've been in a lot of, renovated a lot of houses. What's the nastiest thing you found?
Hantavirus is real. First of all, folks need to understand that is a real disease. When you're messing around places that mice have been and there's droppings, you need to mask up really, really well because that will make you sick. I did this one where, it was an old shed and when we pulled off the walls, it was not insulation. It was totally floor to ceiling packed full of mice poo. And then when we peeled off the ceiling, I totally remember this. I didn't know it was up there and it was on camera. And so I pulled it down and I just got a face full of like feathers and bones and feces. It was, so it makes me want to Febreze myself right now thinking of it.
I knew that. Oh my goodness.
And then we checked it out and I put in like a pool table and a high-end sound system and like heated floors and lights. It was bonkers.
Yeah. That's awesome though. Cause it's amazing what you could do. I mean, yes, you come in as nasty and that's funny and everything, but it's amazing what you could do just by take it down to the studs and then get going.
Yes, with a plan though, because I've also met a lot of people who are like, we don't know what we're going to do. So we're going to take it down to the studs. And then like magically the idea will appear like, no, please no. I always say, I want the big box stores to put a thing on sledgehammers. And it's like, you can buy this if you can answer, what are you doing after you're done with this? Do you have a plan? If you don't, you don't get to buy a sledgehammer, which quick tangent. The only reason we did demo with sledgehammers on the shows was to wear people out so they get out of our way and that we could do real work. Like in real life, I use a Sawzall.
Yep.
I'm not wasting my time with a sledgehammer. Gross.
That's awesome. So 100 episodes. I mean, that is a massive accomplishment. Kudos to you. Do you miss it?
I do some days. Totally. There was this beautiful chaos. And I think there's part of like a consistency in the careers that I've had that have been very intense and very chaotic. I mean, you go from 911 dispatching to television. It's kind of the same thing, to be honest. And I worked with wonderful people. We played with really cool products. And really, like I was able to help pick the spaces, help design them. And then for every episode, as an apology, I would also build a piece of furniture or like a gift. So something in the house was handcrafted, and at least by me, like it was a nice, like I made a full walnut bed one time, or it would be something simple, like a very nice cutting board, whatever we could manage. And I missed that. I was forced to create every day. And it's like, if you want to be a good writer, you have to write every day. If you want to be good at your craft, you have to do it absolutely every day. And in the years since, I've been up to awesome things, and I'm thriving in my passion. I'm definitely following my folly. But there are days that I miss when I would just wake up at 6, and then just go out to the shop and play all day long because I had to. Or my other things, we have this hardwood store here in Colorado called McGuckins. And I used to drive to McGuckins just to go look at their fastener section to be inspired by what to build for folks. What fun. Like, what a gift that was. To me, that was like Camelot. And they would usually pay for all of my ridiculous materials. So like, yeah, I need barrel of hinges. I don't know what for, but I'm going to build something to put it in. So yeah, I definitely do miss. And we had lunch every day. Delicious lunch.
Right. Oh, this is so good. So guys, drop the notes, give us a hello. Let us know where you're coming from. Please connect with Kayleen. Any questions that you have, feel free to drop that in the chat box. So Kayleen, man, and you're just getting a taste of like this contagious enthusiasm that you bring. Your passion is just so unrivaled. So the thing is, I want to slide into a lot of folks here are huge, huge fans of the History Channel and Machines That Built America. So you were on one of my favorite episodes, the Power Tools, you know, and I want to dig into this because you're in that episode a lot. So guys, if you haven't seen it, History Channel, Machines That Built America, check out the Power Tools. And it's Black & Decker, it's Milwaukee Tools, and it's DeWalt. And the stories behind the stories behind the stories of the founders.
Yes.
The innovation, the tenacity, and just watching your passion, like you're jumping out of your chair talking about these guys. Share a little bit about that episode.
Oh, it was so much fun because I knew a little bit of the history. I've been able to go to like the Milwaukee factory where they do have a lot of kind of the original parts, but really taking a deep dive. And I love capitalism and American history and this like woven story kind of happening at the same time, and how Henry Ford was actually one of the people that really helped Milwaukee Tools because they needed something called the sharpshooter to help on their line. And you just think, what a wonderful time. Like all of these innovators were coming together at this brilliant moment. And it even gives me goosebumps now, because now too, you see like, wow, how much it's evolved, because, you know, Black & Decker owns DeWalt, and we have Milwaukee with Rigid, you know, and so these companies are still competitors, but they still kind of get along. But check out the episodes. It was so fun to put the human behind the success of the company, because I just see red or orange, you know, like that's where they're just brands now. But it was a ton of fun. Yeah, thanks for plugging that, because I'd love to do more of those, because I'm a nerd for things.
How did that come about? How just out of curiosity, like did somebody who reached out to you, and how did that happen?
Yeah, the producers just reached out to me, and they were really like, "Hi, would you like to come to our studios, have lunch, and geek out?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, that is so
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was a very good time.
And you know what? Let's touch on that for one more minute, Kayleen, because you know, again, you think when you look around your room, your house, everything is somebody's vision. Every single thing, like, you know, looking around your kitchen, Damon, your office, you know, here where I'm hanging out, like everything is somebody's vision. And watching that, the Machines That Built America, the Food That Built America, you know, that whole series at you know, for all of us history books out there. And I love, like, again, the passion, the relentless drive to take a vision and turn it in. And when you watch how Black & Decker came together and struggling, couple entrepreneurs in Milwaukee Tool. I love when you were talking, I don't know if you knew this, Damon, when it got started, it burnt down to the ground. Right, Kayleen? And I was watching that last night. And so they're like, hey, what do we do? And one of the partners kept it going. It was named after one of the owners, and he changed it to Milwaukee Tools. The guy could have just thrown in the towel. So, like, Kayleen, just share a little bit, like any other insight that you want to share, like the tenacity that you saw from that side of things.
Well, I think it really goes to show how far grit does pay off. I mean, when you're talking about Black & Decker, they sold their car, they mortgaged their house, they took out a loan. They leveraged everything to the hilt because they had a passion. They really believed in something. And so, but sometimes you fail. And I think that's this beautiful story in that episode, because you have Black & Decker, which kind of, you know, makes it along the way. And I believe they were the ones that got the contract for the Navy.
Yeah. So
that really sustained them for a while. But, you know, but then you have Milwaukee Tools, which suffers this traumatic loss with the fire, and they have an employee come in and take it over and then run it successfully. And so just, you know, you have to try. And sometimes you fail, and you have to get up and see what's going to happen next. You have to continue with that. And just sometimes oh, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. And when I heard that they mortgaged their house and their car and they got like $30 for it or something, it just felt
Yeah.
like, oh, times are so different. But take that kind of leap of faith because they truly believed in what they were doing. And that's where I'm like, I see a little bit of myself in their story. And I think we all kind of can, like, all right, yeah, there's hardiness and grit, and it's appreciated.
Oh, hardiness and grit, man. That's a drop right there. So
yeah,
that is so good. All right. So let's slide in. So again, guys, connect with Kayleen. You want to check out that episode. Let's slide into your superpowers now. You are truly an advocate for workforce, for trades, for you're really the champion for women getting into the trades, young people getting into the trades. I'd like to talk about your camps and some of the other things, your foundation. Just share a little bit, like how did this become such a passion that you're just leading the charge here?
So after we did 5 episodes of Rescue Reno, I was like, I there was a few different things like hairs that broke the camel's back, and I was like, this isn't it. Like, I don't want my legacy to be I got more people pantry space. Like, that's cool, but like, that really, it's not really making my heart sing. And so I was still traveling though a lot for the network. And so what I would do is when I was out of town for like a trade show or something, I would Google search what school is close to me. I would call the school, say, hi, I think I'm famous. Can I talk to your kids? And they'd let me in.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And so I was able to do full school assemblies to high school students. And for me, it's very important that I get to talk to the full school because when I was in high school, I was accepted into college super early, like taking ACTs and SATs in 6th grade, like uber nerd. But I was also homecoming queen and on the yearbook staff. I would have never been talked to, and I wasn't, about being in the trades. So now when I talk to schools, I want to make sure I'm talking to everybody because like choir nerd like me, it's all math. Like nobody told me it's all math. It's all fractions. Just love it. No, you'll be fine. Yep. So I was like, all right. And that just kind of grew. And then teachers started to talk to their counselors and principals and be like, this lady came, could we have her back? Then I started to get involved with the association. So like the Association for Career and Technical Educators, Skills USA, NCCER, like all these different groups and organizations that are supporting education, involved in it, creating curriculum. I just sort of networked in. And now, I mean, like, yes, are you breathing? Come join us for real. But like, I go and I see young ladies at restaurants waiting tables, which is awesome. Everybody should learn to wait tables. I did. That is a humbling experience.
Yeah.
But they take eyeliner and they draw a straight line up against their eyeball. And I'm like, why aren't you welding? Like, come on. That is like, you just took something sharp into a straight line up against your eyeball. You could go weld and make
be a welder.
$5 an hour.
Yeah, exactly. You can make $40-$50 an hour doing that. Yeah.
Easy. So before COVID, I was averaging about 50,000 students a year in person. It was insane. I was doing 300 trips a year on average. Like I did 306 in 19. Ooh. And that was like with a trip to Russia and to Guam. I like when COVID hit at first, I was like, that's sad. But then I kind of like, there's dishes in there and like cold water. Like, it's nice. It's nice to be home. It was really nice not to be in an airplane all the time.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, how am I going to reach kids? What's next? Like, how am I going to evolve to 2.0? So I started teaching second graders. Well, not elementary school kids. I love second graders because they're hilarious. But second graders how to build. And it's really something simple with a hammer. And that is because I'm not really caring if they become contractors. What I want to do is make math fun before they start talking about fractions. So then when they're old enough to think about this as a career, they're not intimidated by the workload that we have to do. Like I do math all day long in my hands and then translate it with saws. Or I do it in my head and like translate it out of my hands with power tools. And so I started that. It's awesome. I've done about 150 classes and reached over 100,000 kids, which is great. My Little Builders program. And then I also started a webinar for parents, which is totally free. So I'll go into a school district for free and talk to the parents about the 5 pathways after high school. So we talk about university, and we talk about maybe into the workforce, but do we talk about military? Do we talk about apprenticeships and trade schools? And then I do a half-an-hour webinar, and I bring in experts. Like I have someone for the Department of Education. I usually have the superintendent or somebody from the Chamber of Commerce come on and talk, somebody from the military. And then my favorite part is after this thing, I take all of my viewers and I put them into a lobby, and then they can go to tables with all of the local people who are hanging out. So like when I do it in, let's say, Georgia, I have Delta Airlines there, and parents can sit down at a table and be like, I heard what you said, but my child is special and they're going to college, but tell me a little bit more about this. Because it's not that I'm dissing college at all. But there are a lot of statistics right now out there that I can yammer off for you. But the basic thing is that only for every 10 jobs, only 3 require college. So why are we pushing 100% of kids into this? So it's great because also I'm hitting, right? You got to demystify the magic trick, and you have to talk to the parents who are the biggest gatekeepers. And then there are the counselors, and then there are the students. So that's what I'm doing kind of in my off time.
And the thing is, and I had a friend that used to talk about this, and the reason why he thought that so many kids are pushing to college is that, like my parents, they didn't want us to work with our hands. They said, you should go to college, you do that. Not like we did, even though very successful, generated a tremendous amount of wealth, blah, 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 blah. Great life. It's like they didn't want them to work with their hands. Why not?
Well, and there's a really odd stigma. And a quick story. So I was keynoting the ABC conference in Arizona, and I was talking about how wonderful we should have pride for people in the trade schools and what a wonderful thing it is. Blah, blah, blah. Afterwards, I wrap this up, and this gentleman comes up to me, and he's kind of a larger, burly guy. You can tell he's been crying. And he's like, look, I've had my own construction company. I'm very successful. But it wasn't until I heard you speak that I actually felt pride in my son not going to college and actually choosing to go into an electrical apprenticeship. Here's somebody who owns a company in the industry and could not feel pride because his other 2 kids were going to Stanford and Harvard, and then his son was going into the apprenticeship. And I'm like, well, your son's going to be paying everyone's debt off. And so it was, but it's such an interesting mind shift. And we're starting to see it now because also something that we're seeing is 17% of grandparents hold college debt for their grandchildren because their kids can't co-sign on their loan because they're still holding so much debt. If you just get a bachelor's degree right now and you don't know for what, on average, kids aren't going to pay it off until they're 45. That should be criminal. That's like saying, hey, 18-year-old, sign here for a house you're never going to step inside of. But, and so college has its place and its purpose. Absolutely. I work with great architects and engineers. The better architects are the ones who learned how gravity worked in real life during the summertime. But it's shifting that mindset of, oh, these are wonderful careers and they're high tech. I work with Trimble. Holy cannoli. If I have a robot in my house right now. They sent me a robot, and robots, do you want to do surveying? You could use drones. We need kids who can fly drones. I mean, I'm going to get a hard hat that the safety glasses fold down, and it's a halo lens. And then I stick my arm out and pull up a menu and my blueprints, all this I could do virtual video calling. And so let's say I'm a sub, I need to talk to the GC. I can video what I'm seeing. He can mark on my screen what needs to be done. So parents, I think part of it is that's where I'm a big fan of getting counselors out to job sites so they can see how clean they are, how professional, how safe, how welcoming. The best I've been treated on job sites. The worst I've ever been treated and really patted on the head hey there, little lady, office environments. I'm treated great in construction because I want to earn respect. I want to be there. I'm happy. I'm part of the team. When I go into office, it's oh, hey there, little lady. Oh, you don't have a college degree? Shush, shush. You don't know anything. I'm like, okay, I just built your office, but okay. So sorry to go on the rant with that.
No,
it's good. It's good.
Phenomenal. We've got a couple great comments here. We've got Nicole Donnelly. She's in the house. She drops a what? Wow. And then, of course, John Buglino from Obtessa is here. mic drop moment, man.
Yeah.
You are not kidding, my friend John. That was
No
we've had
doubt.
multiple mic. Man,
Yeah.
man, this is fire, Kayleen. So all right, let's keep it rolling. Okay. I know you have a McCabe Foundation. You have the Kayleen's Little Builder Workshop. I think you just mentioned your
Yeah.
workshop. So do you want to take a deep dive? Like what tell us about your foundation, about your workshops, or maybe you've covered some of it, but anything that you haven't covered, let's go there.
Sure. So the McCabe Foundation is my father and I co-founded that. It's been like 12 years now. Oh my gosh, it's like we're real adults. Like, right, we're real. So that is where we do outreach to get students and veterans involved in the trades. My father is a Vietnam veteran, so he does a great job kind of speaking that lingo. Was also a welder, so very passionate about this. And then I talk to the students. So again, are you breathing? Come join us. And really, I am blessed that I'm able to teach at any age group. So if I can teach hands-on, I've even taught high schoolers how to build something simple. Because again, it's more about the conversation. It might lead to a career, but I'm teaching something fun, and the vehicle just might be hammer and nails.
Yeah.
And then the parents webinar that I host is called Next Steps Webinars. And that one's just a passion project because we're all just trying to figure it out. It's awesome though, because what's fun is I'm actually finding parents hang out for the webinar and then they go talk to employers and then they're like, that sounds pretty good. Can I get a job too? And then parents are being hired. So it's a nice sort of like, because that's where I think we're eventually going to raise the industry as a whole when we get back to the point where instead of a kid coming home and saying, hey, I saw this crazy lady talk today about working in the trades, they come home and see their parents who work in the trades and they look up to them and they just want to do it on their own. And so I'm hoping to get back there one person at a time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Couple things I just want to recap here. So guys, if anybody cutting out to their 2 o'clock or whatever time zone you're in to top of the hour, we're with anybody just joining us with Kayleen McCabe. Man, she's just an absolute rock star here for workforce development and just the trades for young folks. She's a rock star on the History Channel we've been talking about. So Kayleen, first off, your dad's name, your dad's first name?
Oh, Dave McCabe.
Hey, we want to give a shout out to Dave. God bless him for his service to our country as a Vietnam vet and for producing such a wonderful little girl here. So we want to give a shout out to Dave. And secondly, I want to give it, on your rant, I want to like digest this for a second. I had never heard that before. Grandparents are signing for student loans because parents are capped out.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're 18 years old and you're signing a mortgage in a house that you're never going to walk into. Dude, drop the mic on that one. So again, definitely something is amiss to say the least, right? So I love the direction you're going. I have one more camp that I want to bring up that I saw several videos. Love it. If I'm saying this correctly, Nawic, Nawic.
Yes.
Oh my God. Guys, you just love this enthusiasm or what, man? So
okay, I entertain myself, keeping myself busy with a lot of things, but Camp Maywood wins. I was a summer camp counselor last year, and it was the most fun ever. So first of all, Nawic is the National Association for Women in Construction. Great group of women.
Nice.
Right? Guys, also, if you want to be a member, who, like, really, again, are you breathing? Come join us. So in San Diego, they do a camp for girls, and it's from, I think, like 11 to 17-year-olds. Yeah. And if it's your first time there, you're an apprentice. If it's your second time there, you're a journeyman. And the journeymen build like a house or a shed or something. And the apprentices, every day is something different. So like on the first day, I got to teach safety and then carpentry. And oh my God, guys, it was the best. It was so good. I called my friends at Milwaukee Tool and I was like, hi, here's what I want to teach. I want to teach them how to sharpen a pencil. Nobody ever teaches that, and I got 11-year-olds with a straight blade. So let's think, but I'm like, but beyond that, like, make me cool. They sent every single one of them a backpack stacked with a drill, a hammer, a square, a level. I mean, it was bonkers. And so we built a tiny picture frame and then we lit it on fire. And my reason is because I wanted all these girls to go home the first night smelling like campfire and their parents being like, why are you covered in soot? What did you do today? And then they would tell. So they did that. And then there was, they did pipe bending. They did electrical. They did, solar, like learned how to install solar panels. They learned how to drive heavy machinery, and this is the best. I mean, it's my favorite time because we have all these, like, tiny people driving heavy machinery. It's like, have you ever driven a car before? No. And their first time driving something was one of our pieces of machinery. It's so good. And so, yeah, it is the best. I got a photo booth for them last year. We all played dress up. It's just wonderful because seeing that younger generation. Yeah. Like, all the teachers were also women, like, hey, look, this is how we do. Like, I taught them, how do you put your hair up? Make sure it doesn't catch on fire. Like,
man, I need that class.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it was amazing. I wish I want to go again this year, but it conflicts with Skills USA national competition. And so, unless I get a private jet or a teleportation, though, I mean.
So if anybody's out there with a private jet, boy, we're just putting out a little request there. Yeah. So guys, just look at
Kayleen.
Oh my God, are you guys getting chills on this?
This is awesome.
And Damon, everybody out there, you have to go to Kayleen's website, and she has a bunch of videos from this camp. And Damon, if you could see, I'm glad you brought that up, Kayleen, because we were just talking about you did such an amazing job on Machines That Built America with the power tools on Milwaukee Tools. Damon, you should see these backpacks. These backpacks are amazing. You see the kids opening them and all the tools. Yeah. And it was just so rewarding, so exciting to watch all these young people capturing all these tools. And Kayleen, thank you. God bless you that you're just, driving the ship. I want to slide gears here if you don't mind. Yeah. Before we went live, I said, hey, what's going on in your life? Anything new, super exciting? You shared something new. There's going to be a new little title on your name plate, if you will. Do you care to share with everybody what's this new challenge that you're tackling?
Yeah, so the new challenge challenge I've tackled myself with. The new thing I'm up to is I'm in a process right now to become a chaplain. I've been speaking with a few folks across the construction industry. I'm very concerned about the state of our mental health. And in addition, I work with a lot of teenagers and young people, and I'm equally concerned. And I see sort of this blend. If we get a lot of young people into our industry, how are we going to tackle that? And so ABC National in general, they're trying to actually put chaplains on job sites. And I'm not religious, but it's more of an opportunity to let's get the conversation started. And one thing that they starting that I really think is smart that we could all do in our everyday lives is, the end of the day, gather your crew and ask, like, what was your high and your low of the day? Now, this is not a bitch fest, pick one. But the reason behind this is because we are out of practice on answering honestly a simple question like this. Also, asking a simple question like that and really listening. And so by putting in this simple practice, when there is a crisis, a need, then they're more comfortable to go to someone like a chaplain who has a little bit more training and can actually like sound out and really get maybe the help you need. So that's what I'm up to now. I'm very excited about it. I'd like to thank actually Greg Sizemore with ABC because he was the one who kind of cued me into this. And I believe in it. It speaks to my heart and my passion. And because I don't want anybody to take their lives. And it's something that's happening in our industry more and more that I'd like a little bit more awareness raised on mental health because, gosh, we can't replace this tool. I can buy a new saw. I can get a new 2x4, but a new this, not going to happen.
Yep. That's awesome.
How about a little moment of silence there just to kind of save, it's lunchtime for many people here, Kayleen. Dude, that was like a hot fudge sundae with the work right there, man. Yep. Sprinkles for my friend Nicole Donnelly. So, my goodness, this was phenomenal, Kayleen. I can't believe Damon, what did we do in a previous life to have this little Friday thing happen here? So I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
We did. I'm going to thank my previous self.
Yeah.
So, all right, Kayleen, we're going to wind down because I know you are super busy. I want to be mindful, respectful of your time. You are such an inspiration. You are such a gift. You are a blessing to thousands of kids that you've just mentioned, that you are lives that you're touching, this impact. You're even taking on becoming a chaplain because you're worried about mental health. My goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Give a big shout out to your dad, David, for doing such a great job, and to mom as well. My last question to you. What I asked you earlier, who is your hero to get you where you are? Who is your inspiration today? what or who is what is such a driving force that's bringing all this wonderful Kayleen out to the world?
Oh, I just think what drives me is the possibility on knowing that I'm talking about a subject that I truly believe is the most neutral thing on earth. I mean, it doesn't matter your gender or your race or your background. I'm promoting something that I believe can give people the possibility for a great career, a great livelihood, a great passion, a feeling of worth. And I love that it's, in my opinion, completely neutral. Again, like, I even work with a guy who doesn't have a thumb and he sets cabinets. And I'm always like, how for? It took him a while to find that funny. My bad. But I think that's what it is just seeing all these possibilities. And then when you work with people and you see kind of that light bulb go off, it's that I like that feeling of watching somebody learn and evolve and feel inspired. Like, oh, that makes me excited. Why would I drink coffee? I could just do that. So that's it. And gosh, I don't know. I mean, there's so many people because really I've surrounded myself by wonderful friends and I aspire, like I see wonderful things in them that I try to aspire and incorporate, which, hey, everybody listening, surround yourself by great people because then great things happen. And I'm sure that's why you two have this awesome Friday experience. This is the best.
Man, I'll tell you, Kayleen. So just, and what I love what you just said there. Just I want to digest this because a lot of time we talk about workforce is like, these drones or people, the little working bees doing this thing. These are individuals that are going on to either, and like you said, parents are even coming to these things saying, hey, maybe I'll make a career shift, right? But these are people that are striving, creating a livelihood. These are people that are, now birthday parties, their home, their vehicles, their savings. You're creating, you're teaching them how to fish.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're teaching them how to fish, and just look at the power of what you're doing. My admiration, I'll speak for everybody. I feel comfortable doing that. Our admiration, our respect for you and what you're doing. And I love what you said. Neutral. It doesn't matter, like things are so, they're always political. People are like, oh, it's so polarizing now. It's always been polarizing, right? Sure. There's a different topic. There's a different something going on in our world that people are upset about. But I love what you're doing is like, you're you're polarizing neutral and you're just driving the ship to just make people give everybody a better life. And just think of how many people, how many children out there and are going to create a career thanks to your show, episode, a webinar, a video, a conversation, a smile, a hug, a high four, or a high five, whatever you want to call it. And just thanks to you. So let's give a huge round of applause for Kayleen McCabe, man. Oh my God.
So awesome.
Dude, my okay.
So awesome.
Let's wind down. All right. Last thing, Kayleen. I can't let you go. I don't want this to end. Words of wisdom, words of advice, words of inspiration for our peeps today. Just how about parting thoughts of wisdom from Kayleen?
When you're frustrated, don't work angry. Take a few deep breaths. That's the only time I've injured myself real bad is when I'm mad. And for the younger kids, the younger folks, I tell them, don't let other people's opinion of you determine your future. Don't listen to the haters. Don't waste your time with that. You got too much other stuff to do. So that'd be it. And enjoy a good dessert every once in a while. Treat yourself.
That's right. Enjoy, go out and get some ice cream this weekend.
It's summer. Dessert first. Yeah.
So Whitney, thank you everybody here today. I saw Gene is here from Bemis Point. So everybody here today, guys, what a gift, what a blessing this has been. So I want to wish everybody just an absolute amazing weekend. Just like Kayleen, go out there, spread all sorts of awesomeness. Man, just put your superpowers out there, just like Kayleen. Man, if you're not motivated today, we need to have a conversation. So, Damon. God, was this good or what? Take it away, brother.
Oh, this is incredible, Kurt and Kayleen. Thanks so much. And I tell you what, like Kurt said, if you're not jacked up after this, you probably better go get your heart started again. That's the thing. But thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Thanks so much, Kayleen. This has been incredible. It could have been 2 hours long with this because I just had to hold my tongue. I'm so passionate about this and the veterans and getting children involved in the trades and manufacturing. There's so many good careers and seeing that I mean, I'm amazed at how many people you're helping in the teaching and the things you're doing is so great. And thanks everyone for being here again with us on Friday. We are just so blessed to have you, Kayleen, as a guest, our people listening and supporters. I don't even know what else to say other than I just feel full.
Peace.
And we're going to be out until next week. Thank you.
Thanks.